Good morning, Whoa. Mr. Manning here. Hey, I wanted just quickly to introduce what we're doing here with this Panther Spotlight. Panther Spotlight is a new student recognition that's come out of our PBIS team. The goal really is to kind of build up to what we offer every year at graduation time for one special senior that we want to highlight with our Panther Award. Our Panther Award really is trying to highlight an amazing story of resilience, grit, and heart, among many other things for our student seniors specifically. And so leading up to it, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade students, hopefully one per month, we can honor, again, a student that is showing heart, grit, and some resilience here at West Ottawa High School. So our first recipient of that happens to be a senior, and that is Juan Hernandez. So let's learn a little bit more about Juan's story.
So I grew up in a not small, it was pretty big. It was a neighborhood it was just the families that used to work at a nursery, and in the camps, it was called Pine Acres. It was good growing up there, but there for sure was a lot of, not the best environment to grow up in, just because there was a lot of, just stuff that wasn't meant for elementary kids to see, especially drug usage and stuff like that. But luckily enough, I was able just to see through that and meet a ton of cool people who I still talk to today. I think it was in third grade where that was my first trip to Mexico, since my mom did not have papers at the time. That was the year she got her papers, so we were able to go down south and spend some time over there for at first, and then we came back. I think we went for approximately 4 months-ish, which is really a lot of time during the school year as a third grader, especially me being a migrant still, and migrant support. I needed that just because English wasn't my first language, so it was hard at times. And then I feel like whenever I'd go over there in Mexico to school, my parents would work there too sometimes. It was hard because you think you learned the language, you think you knew Spanish, but once you went to the school, that was really when people were like, yeah, it doesn't make any sense what you're saying. Just because you kind of grew up thinking that you knew it by TVs and family. But when it came down to okay, write me an essay on blah, 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 I didn't know how to write or how to read correctly. So I did face a lot of bullying too in Mexico. Luckily enough, I got to persevere through it. As school went on, it got a lot harder, and leaving for 3 months every year was certainly not the best decision, but it was just something that my parents had to go through just because they were migrant workers to put food on the table. The migrant program that they offered at Great Lakes was I think all the way to 8th grade, I believe, and then after 8th grade we weren't eligible to go back. But in 8th grade I was still struggling in math and stuff, so I would ride my bike over to Great Lakes, and I'd have Mr. Wynn from the Mac Bay teach me a couple stuff sometimes. That was a lot of help, especially just because I wasn't the greatest at math. And there I felt like I knew a lot of the kids there just because they were from the same place I grew up as. So I started, helping them out. I would talk to them, kind of be friends with them, because I know it was hard at sometimes, especially because there was a bunch of migrant workers who had no idea who to talk to. I would show friendship just because I would have wished that someone would have showed it with me when I was in that situation. I would help them with math. I would walk around school, seeing if a teacher needed help with anything, translating, because some students didn't know Spanish. But yeah, that was incredible, the opportunity that I got from the teachers and everything.
I've known Juan since he was a student at Harbor Lights, and I happened to be an assistant principal there. And right away I noticed he has a work ethic like none other. Juan has been a student eligible for migrant services because his family happened to move between Mexico or Texas and Michigan quite often. And for many, that might be something that would limit them or maybe be a barrier to success, but not for Juan. Juan made a decision early on that he was not going to let his circumstances prevent him from achieving at high level. So Juan took advantage of every opportunity that he could, no matter where he was. He was a part of our summer programming and excelled, was an incredible role model. So much so that after he was no longer in need of migrant services or in need of summer programming, he chose to come back and support our younger students and volunteer. And he would ride his bike get there bright and early, come to our program and serve others. It was incredible for the younger students to be able to see that no matter what your circumstances are, no matter whether you're moving schools midway through the year, year after year, that did not have to stop you. I'm incredibly proud of Juan, what he's accomplished, the fact that he's in his senior year, getting ready to apply for colleges, knowing that he is going to succeed. It's all because of his work ethic, and I couldn't be more proud.
I wouldn't have not imagined myself getting this far, especially as thinking back, being an elementary kid, I would have not thought being enrolled in so many classes like IB. I took some AP classes early high school career, and I'm hoping to go to MSU next May.